Hey everybody. Video number one, chemical bonding. This is something like unit three, right? Basically what's going to happen is we learned a lot about atoms. We learned how to arrange on a periodic table. And now we're going to start to put them together in the different ways we can put them together. So big idea for the entire unit. There are several ways for atoms to bond. This all results in a more stable, lower energy state. That's why they do it. Nature wants more stability. Okay. It wants to go towards stable. The properties of that compound is formed are dependent on which kind of those three bonds happen. So there's three different major kinds. We're going to look at all three. Okay, we're going to focus heavily on two. Molecules interact or feel other molecules without completely reacting. Once they've been made, then sometimes they affect their neighbor without actually bonding. That's what that little picture is in the bottom with water. And you see those little squiggly lines. We'll learn what that means. And you see there's pluses and minuses. We're going to deal with more pluses and minuses this unit. So it's good. Learning targets. After this unit, you will be able to define the specialized vocabulary. Okay, we'll do that first. Next video, right? Explain why atoms will react to form chemical bonds in the first place. And that octet rule we will learn and go into in depth. 8 is great. Explain the relationship between energy and bond formation. It takes energy to break bonds. I release energy when I form them, hence lower energy and more stable. Okay. We will draw every kind of bonding. So ionics, we use the ABCD method. We'll learn what that acronym means. Use nomenclature rules. Nomenclature is a big fancy word for naming. I think in the videos, I actually changed it from nomenclature to naming because nomenclature is a big fancy word we use in college. You really don't need to know that it's called nomenclature. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But you do need to know how to name ionics and covalents and metallics. Okay. Use the charge cancellation method to go backwards from the name to the compound. So everything we do in this unit, if we go forwards, we can go backwards. If we can go backwards, we can go sideways. That's going to happen this unit. That might be our first real taste of that kind of thing. That's going to happen a lot this year. So you'll have to get used to that. A few more here to go. We'll draw molecules then of covalence. So we will draw ionics, we will draw covalence. We won't really draw metallics. We're going to talk about metallics, but we're not going to go into depth. We're going to go into depth about ionics and covalence. And then we're going to have to name covalence. So that's why there's so many videos this unit is there's like 3 things for each kind of bonding, naming it, drawing it, and properties of it. So there's 3 videos for ionics, and there's 3 more for covalence. There's 6 videos just on being able to do those task things with the different kinds of bonding. Identify a compound as ionic or covalent based on its physical properties. So we have to deal with the physical properties. That will be lab also. You'll have to tell me if is it ionic or covalent based on the properties that you test for. Very similar to was it metallic or non-metallic. All right, different set of properties though, but we'll use them right to determine. Use electronegativity differences to talk about polar and ionic and nonpolar, and then get into the difference between a polar bond and a polar molecule. 2 different things. Intermolecular forces is the last part of the unit. This is when I have fully made molecules and then they feel other ones. There's 3 kinds of intermolecular forces, hydrogen bonding being the Mac Daddy, biggest, baddest one of them all. And here is our tracker. Notice there is a plethora of assignments. Yes, I did say that word. I see 13 homework videos. Some of them will be short. Most of them I'll be able to do here at my desk, except for there's one I know I got to do at the board, and that's drawing covalence. There's an ionic versus covalent lab. And we're introducing campfire pages. So if you look at the back of your packet, when we do a campfire for the rest of the year, I will give you the first few minutes in campfire to actually write. So whether I call on you or not, you will be expected and graded on your participation in campfire. And this way you are ready to go when I do or if I call on you. And you'll see that there's this cool section in there about yes, I got it. No, I don't got it. I'm completely lost. And that's part of your self-reflection piece and part of the things we can talk about during campfire to make sure those things are straight. Okay. So if you're not using this thing to keep track of what you've done, you might want to start. This is going to be a slightly longer unit than last unit. We will probably take 3 weeks or closer to 3 weeks rather than two, but that has yet to be determined. We have a weird half day in here somewhere. So, uh, with that being said, peace out. See you next video. I'll press the button.